With these new starter sets, it seems that Games Workshop gives, but it also seems that Games Workshop takes away. A few of the early releases in 8th edition are starting to disappear. Hello and welcome back to Auspex Tactics, where we're all about getting the most out of our miniatures on the tabletop, and also about getting more miniatures on the tabletop in the first place. I'm afraid it's some really quite sad, though not wholly unexpected news today in terms of some of the easy build kits disappearing. They're up on the last chance to buy of Games Workshop's web store, but at least in the UK it does seem that some of them have already gone. In this video we'll just talk about the value that we might be losing and how it might impact Space Marine and Death Guard collectors. So the 6 kits that are disappearing are the ones that we can see on the right. They're the Easy Build Redemptor, the Flamestorm Aggressors, the set of 3 Reavers and Intercessors, Lord Felthius and his Blightlord Terminators, and the 3 Plague Marines. I think it's no coincidence that these are going away at the same time as the new starter sets are coming in shortly after Indomitus. These basically represent early releases in 8th edition, and they came out alongside a lot of the kits that they released at the time, with just a bit more of a simplified version of building the model. Say you don't have the choice of the plasma cannon or the Gatling cannon on the Redemptor, it's just the Gatling cannon. I think it's pretty much guaranteed that we will see Space Marine and Necron kits released to replace these. Perhaps we might see some individual releases of models from the Indomitus kits, or quite possibly things like that Invader ATV and Firestrike Servo Turret. I believe that when they announced them they did say that they would be in easy to build form. Similarly on the Necron side for that Locust Heavy Destroyer and also that Canoptic Doomstalker. In terms of value for miniatures, my favourite out of these were the Redemptor Dreadnought, the Aggressors and Lord Felthius. If you're in the UK, then the Redemptor Dreadnought was just over half the price of the standard one. Sure, you didn't get the plasma cannon, but to be honest the Gatling cannon was perfectly serviceable, and it wasn't too hard to convert a few of the other little extra options for them if you set your mind to it. As Games Workshop releases go, it is a pretty cool model for a fairly reasonable price for them. The Flamestorm Aggressors are similarly far cheaper than the Aggressor Squad that you get in the multi-part kits. Honestly, while they existed, I don't see why you'd actually ever buy the multi-part kit if you wanted to make Flamestorm Aggressors, which I guess could be part of the reason that they're going away. I was a little less sold personally on the Reavers and the Intercessors. They aren't too bad, but on a per model basis they're not actually all that much cheaper than the standard Reaver or Intercessor kits. Though I will admit just being able to buy a few of them is quite an advantage. It does make them a bit more flexible if you just need a few more bodies in the line. At time of speaking it seems like all of the Space Marines are still available in the UK web store, but it seems that both the Death Guard kits have already gone. Again, I think both of these will be missed in their own way. The Plague Marines were a slightly cheaper way of getting just a few more bodies in than buying the standard Plague Marine squad, and they were a bit better value compared with the Reavers and Intercessors, I think. However, I think that the Lord Felthius and Tainted Cohort models, and for £25 in game, there aren't all that many kits that give you quite so many points on the table. Even if it had just been for the Blightlord Terminators, that wouldn't have compared terribly with the standard Blightlord Terminator kit, but to have a pretty iconic plastic character included as well was really quite cool, particularly as Games Workshop seems to sell these for quite so much. I can't really compare the price for how much Games Workshop would charge for him though, as they don't actually sell him separately. To be honest, I was kind of surprised that Games Workshop did decide to pull this one, at least before they had got round to releasing another Lord of Contagion model. In that recent 9th edition launch party reveal session, they did show off a Death Guard miniature in there, which most of the people in the reactions did peg as potentially a multi-part Lord of Contagion, so at least fingers crossed he won't be gone for too long. It does seem a bit strange in the meantime though, where Death Guard players can't buy one of the more iconic HQ choices. It seems that the other starter sets are also on their last legs as well. No Fear is now out of stock in the UK, and I'll be very sorry to see it gone, seeing as it's one of the best kits in terms of points and plastic per money that Games Workshop has released in recent years. It certainly seems that the new starter sets aren't going to be quite as decent value when stacked up in direct comparison. If it really is gone for good, then it racks up the list of characters that can't be bought from anywhere in Games Workshop now, including the Gravis Captain and the standard Company Ancient. Like the Lord of Contagion, it would be strange if they weren't there, leaving gaps in an otherwise fairly intact Space Marine line. At time of recording, First Strike, the mini starter set from last edition, does still remain available. If you're desperate for some of these small easy build kits, then it's not actually the worst deal ever. For £25 or $40 you get the 3 Reavers, 3 Intercessors, 6 Poxwalkers and those 3 Death Guard Plague Marines. It's really quite good value in terms of pounds for points still, but I'd say that the models that you do get are a little bit scattergun, and nowhere near on the same sort of level as First Strike. Fortunately for the Death Guard, at least 2 easy build kits do still seem to remain. There's the small set of 6 Poxwalkers, and also that Mephitic Blight Hauler, again both of which would make those units unobtainable if they did disappear. It does seem likely, unfortunately, that the Poxwalkers are just going to leave the Death Guard in the same situation that Chaos have been with Cultists for absolutely ages. basically one of the core troops choices of the codex being represented only by a small easy build kit with not many model variants when you're likely going to want a lot of them. Again, I guess we can hope for a new Poxwalker kit, but I honestly don't suspect it's going to be at the top of Games Workshop's priority list. Basically, I'd say if you do want anything from First Strike, No Fear, or any of these easy build things that are going out of print, then now's not a bad time to act. Even if they are gone in Games Workshop, you might still be able to obtain them through third-party discount sellers, other people who stock Games Workshop models, or perhaps on eBay. Overall though, I think a lot of these very much will be missed, particularly so for the Death Guard, who are going to go from a very easy army to get into a comparatively slightly more expensive one, maybe a bit more on par with Thousand Sons. So let me know your thoughts on the issue down in the comments below. It is always a little bit unfortunate when we get good value options taken away. If you've enjoyed the discussion, then feel free to subscribe to Auspex Tactics for regular 40k content coming out each day. And if you are thinking about picking up any models in the near future, I'd just like to mention my Element Games affiliate link, which is down in the video description below. Element Games is a third-party discount retailer that exists in the UK. If you click on the link and make an order through them, then a small amount of the money goes to help support Auspex Tactics, while not costing you any more whatsoever when you actually make the order. They do a decent discount on Warhammer models, and I've ordered through them plenty of times in the past, so I don't have any hesitation in recommending them. It can just be a way to help support the channel on purchases of model soldiers that you're already thinking about making. I do also have a similar Amazon link in the USA and Canada. Again, that works basically the same. If you click on the link and then make an order within the day, a small amount goes to help support the channel, and it doesn't cost you any more at all. Again, can be a way to help support the channel if you're buying anything on Amazon whatsoever. In any case, a massive thank you for listening, and I'll hope to see you guys next time.